Yeah, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 173. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, which I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
Brett Murdoch.
Pleasure as always, folks.
And Adam Vale.
What's up?
All right, we got to come up with a Brian excuse tonight. He's not here right now.
He's getting ready for the MLS season starting this weekend.
Okay, there you go.
Soccer, soccer.
Well, wait, but he doesn't like soccer, though.
Yeah.
What?
No, he's not a soccer
Yeah,
fan.
he's not a soccer fan. That is true.
That's up front. He's
Well,
just
you've had that same reaction when he said that. He's like,
I still don't believe it.
Yeah, they know he
like
Adam
football.
erases it from his mind. That's why he's always
Yeah, exactly. I got
surprised.
blocked.
you instantly neuralize yourself after you
It
hear
comes
that.
in, it's Charlie Brown talk.
No, it's part of his cover, man. That's like saying like British people don't like beer. That's like what? That does not compute. It's like saying the sky is red or something. It's just wrong.
Yeah, you know what Adam's like expression reminds me of. There was this one show I was watching about this one guy who literally forgets everything every 3 minutes or so. So every time his wife comes into the room, it's like the first time he's seen her in 10 years. Like, oh my god! So that's how Adam is reacting every time you tell him Brian doesn't like football. It's like, what? No, like he forgets.
Yeah, I just can't. I'm still in denial over that. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, what's going on, people? We got Daniel in the house. We got Carlos in the house.
Daniel and Carlos.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah. All right, man. We promised we're going to do this at the top of the show. So last week we started our Final Fantasy Dissidia Ultimate Collector's Edition giveaway. And we're going to announce the winner now, man. We're doing this shit right at the top of the show. And Manny wanted to do this shit live because we got a randomizer,
Yeah, we got ourselves a nice little randomizer here. So right now I'm just putting all the names in.
Yeah, so in case you don't know, basically we just asked you something simple. What's your favorite Final Fantasy game? We round up all the answers, all the names, and whoever, this thing generates wins.
All right.
Can I do a beat?
Yeah, you can do a beat, man. Drop the beat, son.
All right. All right, and we have our results. It is Elite Prophet from YouTube.
Ooh, okay. Elite Prophet, man.
Elite Prophet. Oh, shit.
All right, so congrats. Damn it, we don't have the old shit. We could have did that.
Yeah, we can't do any of that. Yep.
All right, so Elite Prophet, I need you to hit up the Throwdown channel on the back end. You basically just hit the About. There's going to be an email there, which is my email, tony@thecoalition.com. Hit me up, and I'll get your address and all that shit, So congratulations again to, what's the guys? I see, I'm like Adam.
Elite Prophet.
Elite Prophet. That's a good name. I like that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Cool, man. Congratulations. So as soon as, and I'm not going to slack, brother. I will send you that shit out mad quick.
Yep. Yes, a couple of things. It's just if you're watching us right now, there's if you haven't done it already, make sure you're following us on YouTube, Twitter, and as well as Twitch.
Yeah, when you contact me, give me all your handles because everybody has different handles. That's the only thing I didn't account for. So for future contests, we're gonna have you also like hit us up with all of your handles and stuff because I didn't take that into account. Like for a guy like me, I have the same handle everywhere on the internet, but other people aren't like that,
For somebody like me, like a couple of times, like my handles from other things were always taken. So I just say, all right, we'll just put something close to it.
Yeah, not like PlayStation and names. So by the way, did you hear about that? Like there was just a slight rumor that PlayStation was going to give name change, but it turned out to be a troll. But everybody believed it for a little bit.
Wait, is that the one about that you could change your name as many times as you want type of shit?
Yeah, something like that. Like it was just a troll, though. It was just a troll,
They'll love to get you with that one. They're like,
yeah. No, because, as I was made aware, some people made up, they came up with their names when they were teenagers or something. They're like, oh, I don't like that name anymore,
My
Whoa, damn. Who the fuck is coughing like that?
That's Mr.
Sorry.
Brett.
You okay, brother?
You got a little dryness in there.
Red Bull went down the wrong way.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. That was that type of cough, too, Anyway, maybe what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, you know, like for me and my PlayStation name, shit, I've had that thing since the PlayStation Underground, since PlayStation 2.
Yo,
That's
man,
how long
crazy.
I've had my online handle. So, you know, I don't want to change it because obviously since I've had it since then. But I can understand that, where it's like, you know, you made up a name and then you can't change it to anything that you wanted to. So it's like, or you have one of those names is just like you know, remember the 10-year plan of PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
You know, 10 years ago you were, you know, you were 10 years old.
Yeah, in some cases, right?
Yeah, so then you were like, man, this is some stupid ass name. I want to change this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call out his handle out here, but I know Anthony Nash, our buddy Anthony Nash, has a name he did not like at all. You know, and I'm like, yeah, considering the type of person you are now, you don't want that type of name. You know, even though I think it's cool, it'll make a great metal band name. You know, I'll tell you guys off air. All right, so anyway, congratulations again to the Elite Prophet. Hit us up, please, man, so we can get your shit out. You know, also a little bit, I guess, back patting to ourselves. We finally reached over 100 subscribers or followers or whatever on Twitch, man. That's a hard road, but we did it, you know.
Good stuff, man. Thanks to everybody who's decided to watch us on Twitch, who's also might be watching us right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, if you prefer to watch us on YouTube, that's fine. Just subscribe to over Twitch, please. We got to get those numbers up over there.
Yeah, and then then you'll also, one thing about Twitch is that you get a little bit of a faster reaction time than you do from Mr. YouTube. It's quite a bit of time, so you can kind of get closer to live answers on the shows.
And for the mixer people, they get us almost instantly. You know,
yeah,
mixer. You know, but Mixer, that's a tough neck. I'm focusing more on Twitch right now, you know, and YouTube. All right, man. So without further ado, we're gonna get into some gaming stuff. A little bit of a light week, but some stuff happened, you know. And the first thing we're gonna talk about here is the ESRB. So they finally have their reaction to the whole loot box thing, because basically as soon as the whole loot box thing started really taking off last year because of Star Wars, they were like, we don't consider loot boxes to be a form of gambling, right? A lot of people that didn't sit well with them. So after, you know, Congress and all this other shit started hitting them up. Thank you, Daniel J, for the super chat. Appreciate that. So anyway, they started getting, you know, congressional, you know, heat and stuff. So they finally decided to do something about it. But it doesn't really do anything. So basically, they're going to have a new label on all their games that says in-game purchases. So if a game has loot boxes, DLC, cosmetic items, whatever. Yeah. So let me finish. So yeah, so like if it has any of those, it's gonna have that label. So my thing is that, Chris, I know you're gonna say this. I'm like, that describes like 99% of every fucking game release. What game doesn't have a season pass? What game doesn't have DLC? What game doesn't have? Come on, every game has this shit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. So obviously ESRB is being called out for the tepid response. You know, because it's bullshit.
Yeah. No, this is ultra lazy. This is just like, yo, we gotta keep the government out of this shit. And then what's the least work we could do? Add another label. Oh, fuck that, man. Like they should call it out for what it is. Loot box is fucking gambling, especially the way EA has presented it. Right? That's not something you just slap a label. And then they're covering it like, okay, everything gets a label, so DLC gets a label. Like, yeah,
did you hear their reason for it? They said they did a focus group with parents, and that parents couldn't tell the difference. So to simplify it for the parents, they put it all under one umbrella.
That's fucking dumb. That's still lazy. That's still lazy because they got the answer they wanted. That's what they were gonna do anyway. So
yeah, the thing is,
response.
Yeah, well, you know why? It's because they don't want to make a stance because big companies like EA and Activision and even Ubisoft, you know, all those bigger companies are the ones that probably have the bigger say in the ESRB than let's say some of the smaller companies. Yeah, so they don't want to oust them on their big money making scheme. Sure. So rather than build some sort of difference as to saying, even if it says it on the back contains what is it, loot box microtransactions or randomized microtransactions, which instantly gives a parent what the type of transaction it has in the game. rather than just kind of like, oh, it has a microtransaction, and go to our website and find out a little bit more about that. That's stupid.
Yeah, well, this is my problem when I talk about like the unfettered greed of these companies. Like the ESRB is just made up of board members from each major publisher, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
they want to keep their new gravy train rolling, right? So they've come up with this bullshit. They come up with this lazy labeling system that covers all downloads, doesn't differentiate anything, right? Because we don't want to make loot boxes bad. They're already bad, motherfuckers. And if you don't do something about it, and if the government comes back around the second time to talk about this shit, you aren't gonna stop them with another label. They're gonna go, we're gonna start drafting a bill, and then your guys are going to be sunk, and then we're going to have the government in video games. That's what we don't want. So stop thinking about your fucking wallets and think about like we don't want that kind of regulation in the industry. You're going to have to cut back the greed a little bit, man.
Trump has a meeting with some of the
wait, we're gonna talk about that later.
Adam
skipping to the last subject of the night. But it's all bullshit. It's like and they said like, oh, we didn't want to confuse parents, and they're still on the bullshit. By the way, they were like, oh, we still consider loot boxes just a fun thing to do. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, that. All
really?
The pandering. Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
And I'm going to throw this out. This is a little bit of a conspiracy theory that's going around. By the way, thank you to Daniel Lawson and Daniel J. Again, you guys are our sugar daddies tonight.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys.
Sugar daddies.
Okay, this is like a theory that's being thrown around. Not really conspiracy, just a theory, right? And I'm starting to believe it because we know that the government, senators, governors, or whatever, right, are paid off by oil companies and tobacco companies and all this other shit, right? NRA, all these other things, right? The theory is that they want video games to start giving them money. The video game industry doesn't give any of these guys shit. So I'm like, so maybe they like, hey, listen, you want us off your back? Give us a little something, Yeah. I could see that happening now because I'm like, yo, every other big,
that. The video game has a huge lobby in DC. Just
like really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
So the industry already has a lobby, and they're already wine and dining them or whatever. This is all legalized bribery, right?
Yeah.
You grease the wheels to get whatever you want passed. But yeah, the government can also strong arm them for more favors, more perks, or whatever. Unfortunately, that's politics nowadays. So yeah, they could introduce a bill. One senator goes, "Hey, I'm going to throw this up on the floor unless." I don't know. You kick back something our way.
That's what I'm saying.
And then the bill disappears.
I want that new Call of Duty game, Activision.
Trump is a big Call of Duty fan. That we already know.
Yeah, no, but
but
Chris, you're right about that. He'll be like, I'm going to introduce this bill that's going to, clamp down on you guys unless you pay me. It is, like you said, legalized bribery. That's exactly what it is. Thank you, Daniel, for following us on Mixer, man. That's awesome. Brad, get in here, man. What are your thoughts on this shit?
Kind of torn, honestly. Trying to think of how to put this. Oh, I know. Hold on a second.
Oh, do you need time? Is your dog fucking up?
No, I went to get this.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a little Rick figure. Came from the little Rick and Morty blind boxes. And I really like these things. Not only do I like the figures themselves, I think they did a good job. I'm a fan of pop vinyls. But I like the idea of going out and buying a mystery box. I like the idea of collecting things this way. And yeah, I may get duplicates. I've got them before, but it kind of harkens back to when I bought X-Men cards as a kid. And I like the mystery. I like the surprise. The lightsaber I bought a mystery box. So I am one of those people that likes an element of chance of RNG in real life for what you have. And so the only thing that makes me hesitate is if you go straight black and white with this in the instance of, well, I won't even go down that road. I will just say, what makes this guy here different than DLC or a loot box? Because it's random.
Oh, it's simple. It's simple. You just went somewhere to go get it, as opposed with a kid just clicking away on a X button and it's just ringing up the purchases. That's a different story. Unless the parents watching it, then they're to blame.
Well, no, but I feel like people would say, you still don't know what you're getting. you still don't have any choice over it, and I still end up with something that other people who did not pay that money can't have.
The biggest difference is that you know what you are going to get. You
Yeah.
know that you're going to get a Rick or Morty figure, or any one of the characters, because they're all shown on the back of the box.
Yeah,
So for Marvel cards, you know you have a checklist for every single card, and you know exactly what card you're going to be getting.
So in Battlefront 2, they don't provide any type of list. Like, this is what's in this loot box. You could get, like, Chewbacca's dung in the box, for all you know. Like, you really don't know. It's not listed like, oh, that's possibly one of the chances of what I could get in here. And there's 32 things, or there's 64 things. No, there's infinite things, and you don't know. And you just got to keep dropping money until you get Han Solo's blaster or whatever. That's how they get.
You may never get it.
It's a mobile tactic that's underhanded.
Yeah.
So they also show the in collectibles generally the rate or the rarity of the thing that you get. It's
no, they're not doing that in the games either.
That's also in the game. In the games, they're not telling you that your odds or even exactly what you might be getting.
And
So
in
let me ask
fact,
you this.
China legislated that they have to tell you the odds of getting a certain item.
What would you have to do to turn the current setup of loot boxes into something more palpable and fair? Like, is there a way to do that, to open that revenue stream without taking advantage of the customers? Because these guys kind of make me think that there might be.
Well, they should
the
just.
Sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I was just gonna say, if they then just have an option that people can just straight up buy what they want. Like, all right, listen, you could buy this option, or you could take the chance to go in the loot box. It'll be cheaper that way. It's up to you.
Yeah, because when you go in a toy store, right? I go in an aisle. There's a toy in the plastic, but I can see what it is, right? I know what I'm getting. Like, if I want Optimus Prime or Megatron, whatever, I know what I'm getting. I see it. It's not a blind box. Like, if you buy a blind box, you're taking a risk. Like, oh, it could be Megatron, it could be Optimus Prime, but you could go in the other toy aisle and you could actually buy that character, right?
And the other thing about the blind box is you still have an idea of what you're going to get in the blind box. They show exactly what's on the back.
So you put that in the game. Like, the game should tell you exactly what's in the loot boxes, the odds of getting that item, right? And then they also let you buy that item outside. Like, if you want that thing, you can buy that thing.
But see, the thing, if you allowed somebody to just buy those Rick and Morty, I mean, I know you can buy them used from Amazon, but, like, you can't buy them in the package. You can't buy them. The only way to get these, for the most part, is either buying them secondhand from somebody who's opened the packages, or buying them through blind boxes. Same with Marvel cards.
Well, then let the market decide. That's how capitalism is supposed to work. Like, put the info out there. Like, if nobody buys into this, if you don't want to put the individual items up for sale and people don't buy your game, then that model fails, right? That's how that's supposed to work. But you don't deceive people. Doing that shit. You put the odds out there, you put the items that are in the thing, and you put those items up for sale. If people go and buy them, you're still getting the money for it anyway. But if you hide it behind the shoulder, oh, you don't know, there's odds, whatever, that's gambling. That's bullshit. And then you deserve to have that product fail.
Okay, so you're saying as long as you deliver a product no matter what, and you give people the odds of getting rare things, that this isn't a broken system from the ground up. And the reason I bring this up is because we can all cry, you know, like how bad that is, because we all know how bad it is. I mean, honestly, it doesn't even merit discussion about how stupid and bad it is. But they're going to do it anyway. So my next step is, well, is there a fair alternative that can still open this revenue stream where people want to take chances on stuff, you know, have RNG elements, get exclusive things by way of chance? Is there still a way to do that without abusing the customer? And it's sounding like the answer is yes. So there's still... Go ahead.
You just have to have it side by side. Like we said, if they have an option, and even if they said, all right, there's certain cosmetic things that are only going to be found in the loot box, at least you know there's certain items that are only going to be in there. And it's like you're really taking your chance. But for certain things, like weapons and other attack John abilities or things like that. And if someone says, you know what, I don't have time or the money to go and just keep hoping I get it, let me spend, even if it might be a little pricey, but there is an option, so they can't really complain. It's like, hey, $10, you get it right out the box. You want this right now? You willing to pay $10? Then do it. But
it's like saying when you're buying Marvel cards or blind box figures and you go and ask the store, instead of buying every single this single thing one at a time, you just ask the store, hey, how much is it for this one case of Marvel cards, so I can get every single Marvel card that I ever want.
That's what I used to do
with Magic the Gathering. I used to do that with Magic the Gathering cards. I used to go to Forbidden Planet, and yeah, you can get packs, but I just wanted a Royal Assassin, and I'm like, hey, you got any Royal Assassins? He was like, yeah, come over here. And I see in the case, and I think it was like 20-something bucks, whatever. But that's exactly what I wanted. Who knows how many packs I could have bought and wasted money and never
about that, though? That's my question. When you came back with that,
I feel great. I feel great. It's all about how we use it.
Not how you feel. How did your friends feel when you came back and just dropped a Royal Assassin? You're like, you find that in a pack? You're like, no, man, I just bought it.
They said, all right, where do I have to go to get it? That's it. I mean, it's not really cheating because remember, it's still randomized in a pack. I mean, in my deck. It's not like I could always say I got it in my hand.
I know. I'm just saying a lot of times I know, like when I'm playing Magic with people, like if they go out and spend $100 picking out strategic decks and then come back, cards in a deck, and then come back and they're like, oh, what's that? I'm like, did you really just pull all these cards? I'm like, no, dude, I just went and bought all of them. I'm like, fucker. And I like, you don't hate them, but it saps a little bit of fun out of it, which is why I'm a big believer. Like, this shit should only be cosmetic. I can't use my little Rick figure to win any game anywhere.
Yo, man, you can win the game of life.
By the way, Brett just answered the question you asked yourself, Brett. That's how you make it fair. Make all that shit cosmetic, because the problem is when you make it so there's items and shit like weapons or armor or whatever, the actual game is then tailored so you are forced to buy these things. Just like Shadow of War, just like Need for Speed. Those games were affected, like the actual gameplay was affected because of this shit. But if you make it cosmetic the way Overwatch does it, then do you hear anybody complain about Overwatch? No one complains about that shit.
Nobody's complaining about Overwatch.
But look, EA's been doing it forever. Like I said, with the FIFA and the MUT. I mean, in order to play those modes, the only way you get the players is through these packs.
Yeah, and I think that's bullshit. You don't think that's bullshit though?
It is bullshit, but that's what I'm saying. It's been happening forever. If it wasn't for the Star
I'm glad
Wars
people
game,
finally woke up. You're 100% right about that. Nobody noticed this shit. Yeah, no one noticed this shit until fucking Star Wars, the game they actually cared about.
That's my point, Adam. You play Magic and you buy Magic cards, but you complain about the same system when it's in a video game.
No, and I still cheated that system. I went on websites where I can just get the player that I wanted. So I didn't have to do all the packs. And then when they started shutting those sites down, I said, you know what? I'm not playing this shit no more. I'm not doing that random game shit no more.
So are you saying the main difference is like a secondhand market? Even
secondhand market. Or if they have just the option to buy, which is their own secondhand market. So if, like I said, if they said, listen, these are the players, or let's say, or FIFA, for example, let's say, all right, these are the 5 players, whatever they're going to be in these packs, right? But if you want one of these players, you got to pay a certain amount of money, but you're guaranteed to get that player. It's going to cost you more probably, but it's up to you. You want to take the chance getting packs, or you want to just buy direct. If they have those 2 options constantly in games, no one's to bitch, because if someone says, I don't like the loot box, well, then just go buy. I don't like the high prices, then go to the loot boxes. You know what I mean?
The most, I think in this discussion, the most important question is, do you think they should constitute an age limit for these kinds of transactions?
That'll never work.
How do you I'm not opposed to that, but how do you enforce something like that, an age thing?
Well, because I mean, there's games like, for example, Roblox that aren't, like, I don't know what the ESRB on that. It's probably like what, a general game or teen maybe at most. So kids can play those games and still get microtransactions. So maybe like raise up the ESRB for a game that has those types of microtransactions, because it's gambling. If we constitute either. What's that?
So should we even have that shit for adults either? Like, I don't know. I guess the way that I look at it is like online blackjack and online poker is a shifty fucking business that is predatory towards people with gambling addictions. It is,
definitely.
It is generally just a fuck of an industry. I just look at that as like, is it okay do we want to open the doors even for adults to be able to gamble from your living room? Like that just sounds like a bad. This doesn't seem like something we need to take.
Here's the thing. Like when we're thinking of adults, usually you're thinking of people that have supposedly a better judge of the usage of their money, when really people get addicted and all kinds. They have all kinds of systems and stuff for that. For people who want to get over their gambling addiction, but at the same time, it's like you also have a child who really doesn't exactly know the worth of money, just blowing it all away because the game says you in order to win, you need to do this. You know what I mean?
Well, here's another, just sort of like what you brought up before about getting upset with the magic packs and saying, "Oh man, I found this in a pack and I don't like when people go and buy." It reminds me, because with FIFA on Wednesdays they drop new players, right? They're the foot player packs, and these guys they're black cards you can get, right? So they're these informed characters. Now it's only within a small window, so this is the time when people just start throwing all their money at it, just getting, and that's where some people get upset, because you'll see some people on YouTube and say, "Look, I got these cards in this pack," and then other people just constantly shelling out $50 and $100 just trying to get it. They may never get it.
Well, it's
I
not
think
only
that's an issue of too much rarity, though. Like there's a certain tipping point in which, yeah, if they had a fucking holographic tinfoil X-Men card that was 1 in 100,000, you're just like, "Oh yeah, fuck you."
That's the thing, but we don't even know if it's 1 in 1,000. They're not even telling us.
We don't even know what the odds. They don't even know what the odds are of even getting any of these figures. They're just, these characters. They're just saying, "Oh, hey, the rare, we get a bunch of rare characters that come out on this day, and yeah, just throw money at it until you get it."
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And that was, what was it? I gotta find if it was an article, if it was just a theory, that some people said that they think that the way the algorithm works is that it's based off of how much money you put in. So it said that give this player, if they spend $400 on packs, and once they hit the $400 mark, boom, they're gonna get that player. It's gonna pop up in one of the packs.
I just subscribe to, if you don't know the odds, they're bad.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
That's all of them then.
But they don't disclose the odds.
They don't disclose the odds.
And that's the problem, I guess. Like you should at least be able to look in their fine print and be like, how many packs should I have to open to get this guy? And if you can't even find that information, then you know that they're not necessarily sticking to, random chance, but they might be working with it. That's almost a surefire sign they're probably working with an algorithm as opposed to just straight RNG tables.
In my opinion, it doesn't matter whether you do it in front of your living room TV screen or in fucking Vegas. Gambling's gambling, man.
There are certain safeguards in place when you go in public. Like, I'm not saying that, I'm not condemning it as morally wrong. I'm just saying that one of the most predatory businesses I know of is online poker and online gambling, for that very reason, because it tends to target people who have a problem. It tends to target those whales. It does the same thing that mobile games does. And I don't know that that's necessarily great for anybody. Like, I don't know that you could point to online gambling sites and be like, "Well, it does a lot of good for a lot of people. A lot of people really enjoy it." It's like, no, it's kind of like payday loans. Like, it only serves a small function of people and then fucks them over royally when it does.
I think it's important to disclose all that information, but I guess my big thing is if an adult goes into this thing knowing what they're getting into, then by all means do whatever the hell you want, waste all your money, ruin your life if you want that. But if you're using these same practices to attack a child, that's where it gets to me. So I'm like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, and you know why? You know why the ESRB doesn't want to make a full decision on this stuff, right? Because it will incriminate pretty much most of the games that run these sort of practices, and they will instantly become adult-rated games.
Yep.
No matter what the content is. So if the loot box thing is considered a form of gambling in general in the ESRB rating system automatically gets an adult rating.
But here's the thing, and I'm just going to say it.
No matter the content. Every
single one of these incidents is enabled by stupid parents. It is always, look, you agreed. You signed the terms and conditions, or you let your kids sign those terms and conditions, and you have a bank account hooked to it. You did not take proper safeguards or read the fine print to find out what was involved in this. And I'm not saying that makes you an idiot, but I'm saying that makes that a poor choice.
Oh, wait, so the thing is that, yes, most of this...
None of this is happening outside of the realm of parents is the thing. Like, everyone's like, they're attacking the children. Motherfucker, you signed your kid up for this. So you can't act like there's just people jumping out of the bushes and springing these practices on kids, which is why I make why I compare it to adult gambling. Like, look, at the end of the day, this all boils down to stupid parents, basically. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what it really is. It's because this sort of thing, because somebody realized in their Star Wars game that little Jimmy was racking up over $1,000 in loot box transactions in Star Wars. And then they looked into it and said, oh shit, that's what it does?
I don't think they were targeting little Jimmy though. I think they were targeting Big Jim, and little Jimmy just got caught in the trap.
Well, no, little Jimmy is the convoy to this. It's like Big Jimmy is just the bank. He's the funds to the whole thing. Little Jimmy's a convoy that's going to transfer all the funds from one place to another.
Oh, if you don't think Big Jim's spending any of his own money on that shit, you don't think?
Oh no, if Big Jim is a gamer, hell yeah, he's spending money on that shit because he fell for that shit. He fell for that line, hook, line, and sinker as well.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is that it's so stupid because all this stuff, all these practices have been happening for years on mobile games, and all of a sudden now, just because Luke Skywalker's involved, everybody's paying attention.
That's how it is, man.
You know, Angry Bird, not Angry Birds, so I'm not going to say those guys, but a lot of those mobile games did the same sort of thing. Stuff like Candy Crush, all those games, they do those sorts of transactions where they fuck with you, they use an algorithm to fuck with you, and then to get a payment out of you. What did we see not long ago? A patent from Activision, which essentially targets people to show the other people what you have. And then they give you a little push toward the loot box / microtransaction section of their gameplay.
Yeah, that kind of thing should be just straight up illegal. Look,
and how do we know that any of these companies are not running these things in the background? Just because there's a patent before it, how long has that patent been there? How do we know that they're not that they just didn't patent this at that point in time because they realized, oh, maybe some other company might steal it?
Yeah, remember the patent hasn't gone live according to them. But if they do put it, we won't know.
How do we even know if this is not if this isn't version 2.0 or 4.0?
They just patented at that point in time. They're like, oh yeah, we better patent this shit right now because
they could already have
somebody might take it.
Well, yeah, but patent doesn't stop them from using the product. Exactly. The patent just makes it proprietary. They could have been using this algorithm for years, like Manny said. They just went, maybe fucking Ubisoft's gonna figure out what we're doing, so go get the patent on it, you know. So they can't do it. Really, it's just to keep your competitor from doing the same shit. It's like, yo, this is a gravy train. Yo, we don't want those motherfuckers on the gravy train. Just patent that shit, and then so you can sue them when they do it.
That shit should all come with a warning. Like, this game uses preset algorithms to determine chance. Like, that should be like it is on the side of a warning on the side of a cigarette pack, man.
They should just.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I mean that is exactly what the ESRB wants to avoid, because they want because all those the big guys they want to tell the big guys, oh wait, you can't make that money because it's making them fucking money.
Can you imagine it? Can you imagine if, let's say, EA had to do that for their Madden and stuff, and then just put an "M for mature" due to gambling sticker on the front? You know, all the parents that would flip out, the kids that would flip out. But it's football, yeah. But you know the things they put in there. Then you have all the reps at the stores that would try to have to.
Yes, they couldn't sell it to kids. They couldn't do all this stuff because they'd
pull all of it.
Yeah,
right. And here's the thing that. Gamers are the most vocal audience of any medium I've ever seen. Like, there's a good chance that they were just trying to fuck over everybody, and now they're spinning on their heels. Like, there's a good chance that this may actually come to fruition, because not only are we reactive, we are an overreactive group. Like, when we get out for blood, we are out for blood. So this could have just blown up in their face.
And here's the thing. And it just comes from a lot from gamers just paying attention, and that's all you really need to do. When you actually sit down and see what when they start serving you the same food over and over again, at some point you got to ask what the ingredients are.
Well, eventually this could degrade to such a point. Like I said, there's a couple of things that happen. Either they go down this road and it backfires, right? They do something even more greedy or unscrupulous in the next game, that some senator or something is going to put up a bill, is not going to accept the invite to their next lobby party, and put it on the floor, right? And then you get government regulation, which you don't. That's what they're trying to avoid. So what they need to do is probably, you assholes need to step back and have a independent body become the ESRB. You need to vote in some people or something, because this is ridiculous. Like you have the inmates running the asylum, and you guys are all freaking greedy.
Oh, can I put on my tinfoil hat for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're all talking about gambling in games and loot boxes and how things are unfair to customers and take advantage of people, right? This becomes the prevailing norm because we are talking about it so much, not because the media wants to pick up on it, but just because it becomes such a prevalent topic that it infiltrates all of the blogospheres and all that. But then all of the sudden, and I'm not saying it's completely unrelated because there was a school shooting, but the narrative gets shoved back towards violence in video games, something that has been refuted time and time and time again. It almost sounds like somebody's trying to change the narrative that's going on right now.
Oh, they always do. They always do. That's it. They either blame it on video games or they'll blame it on violent movies.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get to that.
Lobbyists and shit.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna get to that at the end of the show. Go ahead, Brett.
How many lobbyists with grease palms do you think it took to be like, really, you should focus on this message right now? We're catching a lot of heat for our gambling shit. Just focus on the violent shit. Like I could see that I can actually see that happening. Call me fucking crazy, man, but I feel like maybe they're pushing a narrative to replace one that they don't want.
Oh, sure.
Possible. All right, we'll bring that possible topic up a little bit later on during the show, but we're going to move on here to the next one. This one's kind of interesting. So PlayStation Plus, the subscription service for Sony, they're going to make some interesting changes that upset a lot of people. So
interesting changes.
Yeah, so basically, right now, if you're subscribed to it every month, you get 2 free PS4 games, 2 free PS3 games, 2 free PS Vita games. Starting next year, gotta say that a million times because people thought it was happening literally this month. They're going to take away PS3 games and they're going to take away Vita games, and some people were not very happy about that. But Manny, you and I were talking about this before, so what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it was bound to happen at some point in time. That they were going to pull something back from the previous generation. And
yeah, but what are they giving us instead?
They're not giving anything instead.
That's my point in a nutshell. I don't have anything other to say than that.
Yeah, they're not giving anything instead. They're just pulling it out. But they haven't explained, okay, now that we're going to be removing this thing. Well, what is going to happen as far as infrastructure system, stuff like that? I mean, granted, yes, for both the Vita and the PlayStation 3, you do not need to pay for online for both of those games, for those consoles. You can play on the online systems, the multiplayer still works for those things. And I think the reason why is because most people are probably, invested in the PlayStation 4 environment, and they're probably seeing a drop in the downloads of the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, games. So they're like, all right, you know what? Next March, year from now, we're going to be pulling those. I mean, and then to be honest, like what's coming out for PlayStation 3 that year? What games haven't become a plus game? On the PlayStation 3 at this point in time. I don't, it's going to be. They kind of covered all the games that you wanted, the big games that you wanted to play on there. I would think, unless you want to get some of those, really stupid games. Hey, this game that you can win.
Yeah, how many times can you make the God of War collection free? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It probably just ran out. By the way, a wild Brian appears. Hello, Brian.
Hey guys, what's up?
We're talking about the whole thing going on with PlayStation Plus getting rid of PS3 and Vita games. What do you think about it, man?
On the one hand, it makes sense I mean, these systems are, I think, almost 10 years old at this point. Well, at least like the PS3 is, so it makes sense because I don't think there's that many people that are still invested. And maybe this is Sony's ploy to try and get them to move over to the PS4, which is interesting because what about the Vita guys? Because again, I'm assuming that they got the Vita because they like the portability. So either they're planning another new handheld or they've just stopped doing handhelds completely. But it does make sense. It is a shame. My main concern is what's going to fill the void
Oh, yeah,
because
there you go.
yeah, because it went for a price increase last year. So what's going to happen? Because you can't just increase the price
You
and
get
remove
those VR games, man. The
So-
VR games.
So like are we gonna get is like you raise the price and now you're removing something from there? So does that mean the price
Yeah.
is gonna drop? I don't think so.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that we get more games or maybe like better quality games, quote unquote. But then again, there's Bloodborne this year, so it's kind of like, how much more can I get? I did remember hearing a rumor, I think last year or the year before, about them saying that you could get like PS Now games and some movies as well.
Was this
So
on Discord?
that would, I don't remember. It was just one of those things that I read and like, okay. It's an
You
interesting idea,
read the
but we'll see.
rumor on Discord.
Yeah, that's
Thank you, Tony. I was like, damn,
That
no one
shit
got
is
it.
funny. You know what, Carlos? I'm gonna add that to the show notes. That shit is funny, man. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I just don't know what they're gonna do next because it is like a bit concerning. It's like the whole point of PS Plus is kind of useless on the PS4 because all it is just like, hey, we are locking online behind a wall to pay for it. So it's kind of like the only other bastion that you had was the free games, and now they've gone because there's no betas going on. There's, like the discounts themselves are all right at best, nothing really major. So it's kind of like all the things that they advertise is just like slowly being like eroded away. So I don't know. We'll wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. Anybody else want to jump in? My thing is, I kind of echo what you guys said. I'm like, who the fuck is really playing these games anymore? Let's just be real. No one's really playing these games. But at the same time, it's like, okay, even though no one's playing these games, you're still taking something away and we're paying more. What are you going to fill that hole with? And I don't think VR games are going to fill that hole because I know PSVR is doing big, but it's not like stupidly big like that. I don't know, man. And I seriously doubt Sony's going to give us like 4 games, 4 PS4 games. I doubt that.
If somehow this PlayStation, removing these things, what if this meant that now you can play, they give you X amount of games on what's that thing on what do they call PlayStation Now? Like you have, hey, we got this PlayStation Now game that you can play on there.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Or it's something different, maybe because they partnered up with Spotify. And the Spotify system is the only service you can get on a PS4 to play. What if they say we're including music now, but only on the PS4 you can use this account? They could do something like that.
Yeah, I have a theory because one of the other rumors that's swirling around this week is that they're going to reveal the PlayStation 5 next year, right? So what if they're doing this to make room for those PS5 games that are going to be, whatchamacallits? Because remember, my theory still stands. I'm still sticking with it. PlayStation 5 is either coming out 2019, which would be 3 years after the Pro, right? And the Pro itself was 3 years after the original PS4, or 2020. Could be that again. Just my stupid little theory there,
I say 2020.
Yeah, but but if they really want to stick with that, PS4 Pro is a mid-gen console. They have to release it in 2019 just to stick with that middle point. You know what I mean?
Actually, no, that's a good theory.
Yeah, that's my theory. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
No, I think it's a good theory because that would put the them ending PS3 and PS Vita support in March, and then in November for holiday 2019, you get PS5, right?
Yeah, I know we're going a little off topic, but it's still related because think about it like this: when the PlayStation 4 was revealed, right? It was February, March, around that time, right? And then it was released later that year. So maybe they could be like, "Hey, listen, March during that reveal. Okay, today's the last day you get your PS3 games, Vita games, but at the end of the year, we're gonna fill that void with PS5 games. You know what? I'm gonna stick with that crazy theory, man. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know?
I don't think it's all that crazy, man. I mean, you want to remember the market, because we just got done talking about Xbox, right? And how they're lagging behind in sales this generation. Microsoft knows that their key to a leg up is going to be to launch into the next generation as strong as possible. And Sony knows from past experience not to give them the time to get that much of a market lead. In fact, the sooner they come to market with a fully fledged next gen system, the better it is. And at least from Microsoft's side, like it's in my opinion pretty clear that that's what they're banking on, and so they're going to come hard. And so if I were Sony, I would be expecting the same thing. And I would be saying, let's make sure that our system is at least ready in theory by 2019, so that when Microsoft announces, or if they announce that, you know, we're not going to be playing catch up for another year. Because I would almost expect you to hear Microsoft announce their next system first.
Yeah. By the way, Hussein, Brett and Carlos are not sleeping on PS3. They both own it, and they don't play this shit. You know?
I play it.
Day one, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess maybe my theory isn't as crazy, because then I'm just going off of history. I'm like, hey, listen, PlayStation 4 was announced at the beginning of the year and was released later that year. Why you're getting rid of these games? It has to be because they're making room for something.
Actually, I'll join you on that. I'll bank on that, because I think they like Brett said, they want to be first to market, and they want to be first to market with the announcement. They want to create that hype train early. You see how strong that shit is now, all the fanboys, how they react. So they want that. They're gonna get that talk going, and then they're gonna dominate that conversation. The only thing that's gonna stop it from launching in 2019 is if they have some kind of manufacturing issue.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're gonna go with.
Yeah, because I'm hearing that the developers already have the kits, you know, and that makes sense actually. You know, so we'll see about that. But yeah, PlayStation. And I'm just gonna talk about me personally. I don't really care if they're getting rid of PS3 and Vita. I haven't downloaded any games off of PS Plus, and I'm including PS4 games. I mean, including PS4 games for like 2 years. I haven't downloaded anything off of it. You know,
I still download.
So I personally don't give a shit. You know.
I don't do the
like this year they dropped some, like this month they're dropping Fire, right? Bloodborne and Ratchet & Clank. Fantastic games. I got the platinum in one of them and I beat the other, so I'm good, you know. But I understand why some people may still want it, but it's like, guys, I think most of us here agree it's like it's time to move on, man. You know?
Never
games, motherfucker. Go ahead, man.
So the only flaw that I see in that logic that about the PS5 stuff is I don't think so it's good. The PS5 will launch and they'll already have a free game for it.
Yeah, that's also that's an issue.
You mean how PlayStation 4 launched? PlayStation 4 launched with like what, 4 free games?
Four independent games.
Yeah,
but there were still free games. You can't discount that. And I will give you some of them were free to play, like Brian's favorite fucking Warframe. That was one of them. But the big one was the shooting game. That was free.
What, Resogun?
Killzone?
No, not
Resogun.
Resogun, right? Thank you. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, okay. So those types of games.
Yeah, but you can't dismiss them. They're still free games. Yeah. You know? You can't dismiss them. Don't be an Xbot. Yo, fuck those indies, man.
Yo, those jam.
Yo, man, fuck crap these games.
You mean like you in the beginning of this generation? Yo, man, these indie games, these ain't real games.
What happened? Wait, what happened?
Tony?
Yeah. I always said
indie. You were like, man, those indie games.
I never said that. I said they are.
Consider them.
You guys keep throwing that shit in my fucking mouth, and I've never said that shit. I said they're shitty games, but they're still games. Understand? I go back to Throwdown. I've said that many times because you guys always think I say that indie games are not real games. They are real games. They're just real.
You don't say that anymore.
No, I've never said that. I said they're real shitty games, but they are games. You play them just like fucking Angry Birds. That's a shit game, but it's a game. Understand? Come on now. And I'm glad I got this shit on recorded on Throwdown too. You can go back. Anyway, we got off topic now. Oh, anyway, PlayStation Plus, whatever. Something's gonna happen. But here's my last question, you guys. Do you think we're gonna keep getting more Fire like this moving forward? Because my other theory is that the reason they dropped Fire this month is to make the news of them taking away PS3 and Vita games a little easier to swallow. I think we're gonna get a bunch of horse shit next month.
Oh yeah, and I think we got horse shit this month. Like, wasn't it like I just checked right now, and Knack is one of the games, and I'm like, wasn't this free to game like 2 months ago?
Knack was the fucking game people were asking for years. Remember that shit? Like, you want Knack, man? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why do you want Knack?
Yeah, Daniel J, my man, with the super chat. Yo, I hope you guys. I hope we're not like taking food out of your mouth, bro. Just saying.
Man, Throwdown isn't the loot box. You can't keep throwing money at it.
But I will say this though, because I do know that a lot of our fans, well, not a lot, but a good chunk of our fans are actually making a lot of money because they're into computers and IT and shit, so they're making money.
They're not like they're like poor ass artists like me and Brett.
I'm not an artist, but I'm fucking poor too.
Hey, that is an incredibly accurate statement.
Yeah, yeah. It's side tangent, but that's pretty interesting. You had a bunch of fans that are pretty well off, rich guys, and they're listening to a bunch of poor assholes. Very interesting.
Like the peasants. Here you go.
I mean, if you think about it, like there's. Like in Throwdown, there's really just two career paths that we all took in the panel here.
Pretty much, man.
It's like either technology or art.
Yeah.
Or some sort of art.
Yeah, but yeah, Daniel J, if we're not taking food at your table, keep that money coming.
Oh God.
Yo, man, I'm crazy. What the fuck are we talking about? PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Okay, so let's talk about the next subject. Manny, I threw this one here for you, man. This shit is funny. So apparently there's a hidden message in Metal Gear Survive. The blockbuster hit that came out last week that everybody's talking about.
Yes.
The butter game.
The illest game of all times.
Oh.
Tell me it's a thank you to all their fans.
Oh, you're going to love this one. So
yeah, this is funny.
The secret message is, okay.
Actually, no, but set it up. What is it exactly? Like, how does this begin? Yeah.
Okay, so in Metal Gear Survive, the way there's a short bit of story stuff. You know the whole thing, or Big Boss leaves the mother base, and all this insane stuff happens. So there's this portion in the game where this one character is looking for the body of somebody. So what you have is at some point, this guy has like a checklist of all the members of supposedly mother base or whatever that perished during this, during this event that happened. And if you look, there's a clipboard at some point in the show with a bunch of names. One of them is the name that you choose. You could choose Snake or whatever, your created character. But if you look at the middle, the middle letters of every single name on there, one of them says, and after each name it says what happened to them. MIA, missing in action or killed in action, whatever, right? So all the and then they'll say whatever, death or whatever. So all the middle initials spell out something. So there's let me actually get the thing there. Yes, they did. Somebody hit a message in there, which was very clever, but is also like, wow, how did they get this in there? How did nobody spot this one? So let me just go right out.
I know how, but I'm not going to say because it's going to sound racist.
So here we go. So essentially, the first name on the thing is says combat unit. It says vengeful mosquito. Then after that, it says Iron Marlin, and then it says Darlin Dire Gibbon. So if you take all the different initials of this whole listing, which we can't show you right now. Well, can I show you? Screen share. Yeah, let's do this. All right.
By the way, I had myself muted so the fans didn't even hear that fuck up. I said screen share, but fucked up like shit. How did I say it?
Screen share.
Yeah. There's a name for that when you fuck up your words like that. I forget.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not the Freudian slip, right?
No, it's not a Freudian slip.
Dyslexia.
Yeah, I guess it's dyslexia. But yeah, screen. Yeah, there you go. Hold on, I gotta fucking. There you go. Check that out. So, Manny, what does that spell out?
That spells out, if you look at it, it says MG Metal Gear, or you could say Metal Gear, and it says KJP, which is Kojima Productions. You can see that right here. And then it says Forever, and then it says Bastard Yoda, and it says Cunning Yoji. AWOL for both of these. Now, the thing to know about these last two names is Yoda and Yoji is the producer and the director of Metal Gear Survive. Both of these guys are former Kojima Productions people, by the way. They were on the team for Metal Gear. One of the guys created, Metal Gear. They were like designers or programmers on the games. So yeah.
Does he curse on a mount? Like, it sounds like that. Is it like a bitter message? Because it doesn't sound like a good message.
This is not a good message. This is so essentially what you could say. MG killed in action, which is the two names there, and then it says Kojima Productions, Kojima Productions Forever, and it says Bastard Yoda, Bastard Yuji. So essentially, this person is saying Metal Gear killed in action.
Yep.
Kojima Productions Forever, and these two guys are bastards.
Damn, son.
So somebody over there is not
Somebody's
happy
getting fired.
Somebody in there, but in the back, in the behind the scenes was not very happy. Obviously, what happened, and they stayed obviously to keep the job, but they hid this nice little fun message in there, which leads, I think, one of the reasons why this actually even exists in here is for the plain fact that it's actually in English. And I don't think anybody in Japan actually caught this because
you said what I was going to say. I'm like, they probably didn't even.
They probably didn't
read it.
They probably didn't see it. So whoever did it was somebody who was actually in English. And the thing is, that it could be a list of people.
Yeah.
Because they have people that localize this stuff. They could have done it. They could have created the names. But remember, like in at least the way the old Metal Gear games used to go. Let me just go back to
Metal Gear.
The way the old Metal Gear games used to work is that they were all, they all had to be approved by Japan. And sometimes, some things would, some silly things would get through because, people didn't understand it. So somebody maybe in the localization team could have done it. Somebody within the actual, scripting department, somebody could have changed this right before it went to the game went to print. Because this is just changing out names is an easy thing. You know what I mean? Especially when you're coding, right? So like right before one day, somebody just went and changed out all the names, and like cunning and another thing. This is something that Young Ye actually pointed out, that cunning in Japanese is not a good thing. The equivalent of cunning is not good in Japan. It's like a derogatory term. So yeah, very interesting sort of stuff. Because it's like, it's funny that it's somebody that within there just saying, no, this is not it. This is not Metal Gear, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's funny, man. And of course, the gamers didn't catch that because they're not playing the game.
Well, no, gamers that some people who actually did play the game. It was somebody who was actually playing the game that figured this out.
Yeah, I'm being an asshole, by the way, if you couldn't tell.
I think it's in two parts because I heard that it pops up again somewhere else. There's another list.
There's also another one that says something. There's another thing that says something else.
All right.
Yeah, so might be another anagram or something like that hidden within the game, which is crazy because it's like.
My question is, do you think they'll ever take it out, with a patch or something?
I wouldn't be surprised if in a update that this little list that's in the beginning of this game would just mysteriously disappear. It'll just say something else.
Oh, they could easily patch that.
Yeah, they could easily patch this thing out because again, it's just text that could easily be edited. So yeah. Because just like how like your name right there, if you looked at the picture, it said Snake as the combat unit character, which is your character. Yeah. How easily that can be switched out. So obviously all the text can be switched out too. It's just a font and just a couple little bit of names. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so I had to throw that at you because that's a pretty interesting story right there.
I mean, here's the thing. There is no denying that people, I'm sure, because again, you got to remember that not everybody from Kojima Productions left. Kojima Productions. When Kojima and Yoji Shinkawa and Ken Imaizumi, the producer, and Kojima's secretary were all let go, that doesn't mean that maybe most of his team didn't stick around. In fact, some of those guys, like the guy who was the chief architect of the Fox engine, whatever happened to him? He apparently left right in that time. So where did he go? He ended up at Ubisoft working on the new Assassin's Creed game. Very interesting. Yeah, so
that's crazy.
A lot of the guys that decided to stick around, they stuck around because they.
Well, I think some of them was forced to stick.
Oh yeah, they probably were maybe because of the situation. They were just like, oh well, you can't leave because this.
Well,
we won't give you we won't give you your stipend or whatever pay.
No, it wasn't even a stipend. Konami was threatening to blacklist them basically in the industry. If they tried to go to another company, they would give them bad reviews. Or tell the company they were horrible employees. They wouldn't get hired. They were threatening their future employment.
And that's also within Japan. I definitely think if I noticed a lot of the people that did leave Kojima Productions within the time that that Kojima left were people that they left to other countries and left to their home to other countries to work. Like Sean Icestone, who was one of the producers on Metal Gear Solid 5, and he was also a programmer on 4. He eventually left too, but the thing is, he didn't leave to another Japanese company. He went to America. So I feel like if that option is open, they probably left to they left the Japanese gaming industry and stayed in the gaming industry in other countries and other.
Yeah, so the guy who put that message in is some bitter mofo who was afraid for his job, but he's sitting there stewing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that shit is funny to me, man.
Yeah, so somebody, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I would say the sad thing is that when you have these sorts of situations is like a lot of times it's the people that are still doing these sorts of things. People may hate, people in the outside world may hate these things that people do, but you also got to remember that behind the scenes there are people that are just trying to do their job and try to make the best of these sorts of things, and they're just as pissed about the decisions that these companies make as everybody else is out there, and they're essentially forced to work there because there's nothing else. So a nice little jab at the people, not a nice little jab, a jab at these people, and a little waving of the Kojima Productions flag.
Yeah, man, Koji Pro for life, son.
Koji Pro forever, right?
That shit is funny, man.
Which, by the way, there's a fun little. That's a fun little anagram as well, because that also is, if you've played Metal Gear Solid 5, every single one of the Wandering Mother based soldiers, their last names also do the same thing. They spell Koji Pro forever. That's the ones that get when you get that secret cinematic with the hallucination in that hospital room with Paz. So all those mother-based soldiers, those former mother-based soldiers, spell Koji Pro forever. They probably changed that, prior to the release of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, look, somebody's in here talking trash.
What are they talking about?
This guy called Daddy Lap goes, instant thumbs down. I can't support toxic YouTubers. Okay, how are we being toxic? We're just talking about Kojima, man.
Excuse me, sir. Who is
he goes, there's too much toxicity. Okay, what are we saying that's so
what
toxic,
are we saying?
Man?
Did we at all say Metal Gear Solid 5 Metal Gear Solid Survive is a bad game?
I did. I said it's shit.
No, the thing is,
I haven't played
this is also coming from a guy who I didn't actually play it. I don't think Metal Gear Survive in general, gameplay wise, is a bad game. I just think the timing is wrong, and I think in this situation, this was not the thing that any Metal Gear fan would have ever wanted.
They should have called it something else. I think that's all it is.
Exactly. They could have taken this sort of engine in this world and changed it into some other sort of series. but you can obviously see that this is a cash grab. Because they're using the Metal Gear name to sell you something else. And is what I'm saying toxic, sir?
No, this guy is an Xbot. It looks like he says that we were promoting anything again. How were we promoting anything Xbox? What the fuck are you talking about?
And we did play the game. We played the demo. We streamed it. Go check it out.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, hold on. Metal Gear's an Xbox game now? What are you talking about, man?
Metal Gear Survive is on Xbox, but it's also on PlayStation.
Yeah, 4. And we streamed the game, and we didn't like it.
We streamed the game.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the advice of the other YouTube, the other commenters, and ignore this guy.
Yeah, I feel like he's just kind of trying to push the whole.
But he's not
being a baby.
Yeah, but he's.
I've been muted.
Yeah.
I can simplify this.
Yeah.
Get back to your safe space, sir.
Yeah.
So bad. But he's not breaking the rules. So Kristen, leave him be. He's not. Yeah, he's not being disrespectful.
No, he's not being disrespectful.
No. But still, like.
No, that's not grounds for banning.
Like, he's mad. He's mad that we don't like Metal Gear. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Mad that we don't like Metal Gear Survive.
Man, here's a question for you. How isn't it Metal Gear?
How isn't it Metal Gear?
Yes.
How is this not Metal Gear?
Yes.
That is
answer the question.
I'm gonna say this. How is this not Metal Gear? It's only Metal Gear in name.
What are you talking about? Metal Gear's on PlayStation and Xbox, dude.
yeah, like it's both an Xbox and a PlayStation game.
Yeah, and it's on PC. It's on
PC. Yeah. So I mean,
wow, you're getting angry and you're an idiot.
So yeah, here's the thing. How is this not
too toxic for you?
How is this not a Metal Gear game? Well, Metal Gear games usually deal with sneaking missions. There's usually not a survival element, but you can say that in Metal Gear Solid 3 there is a survival element, but that was something that was created for that game. This
right, Manny, I'm gonna cut you off. This guy's a fucking troll. You know what, Kristen? Go ahead, mute this guy because he's being stupid right now.
All right, so there we go. We wasted our time.
He says,
anyway,
he basically said, "Oh, because it's automatic and Xbox is a bad game." What the hell are you talking about, dude?
You know what else is? You know what else is on Xbox? Monster Hunter. We pretty much crowned that shit in fucking February.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't matter what it doesn't. Here's the thing. Yeah,
mute this guy. Mute this guy. Or get rid of him. He's being a troll. I'm not dealing with that.
It doesn't really matter what you're playing the games on. We've said this before. As long as you're enjoying the games that you're enjoying, what does it matter that what you're playing it on? All right, you enjoy it, but yeah, Metal Gear Survive. I'm not. I say for me, this is a lot of as a Metal Gear fan, it is not something that I enjoy. I don't like survive. I'm not a big survival sort of game person. I am not into this. I'm also even like Metal Gear 5. I was a little bit wary about the kind of open world aspect of it because I'm not a big open world game kind of person either, and I feel like some of the people that didn't some of the criticisms that people have had about Metal Gear 5 is that it's somewhat missing a lot of the what we call Metal Gear tropes, which is it's a little bit light on the story. It's if you cut down all the kind of reused missions, like hey blow up this base, do this stuff, you kind of don't get as much story as you would get in a normal Metal Gear game. And a lot of the content that would usually be given to you, given to you in cinematics and stuff like that, were also relegated to these tapes that you kind of had to listen on your own if you really wanted to listen to those things. So, I mean, again, it's a sad state to see this because it obviously looks and acts like a cash grab. Which it's sad to see something like that where it was like it seemed like it was a little bit more than that, but when Kojima was still doing these games. But I also feel like I don't think Konami is willing to devote the money into something like a Kojima frequency sort of Metal Gear game at this point.
Did Kojima ever come out saying that he knew about this before? Like maybe this was an idea in production while he was still there.
No, he did not.
No. He didn't.
They announced this. The crazy thing is they announced this thing pretty much close to when he released any sort of information on Death Stranding. So yeah, it's something that they could do really quickly. The game uses a lot of assets from the previous game. All the environments and a lot of the things are the only new thing about it is the kind of melee weapon sort of deal. But yeah, I'm not as a Metal Gear fan, I'm not interested in the aspects that are being portrayed in this game. I feel like, some people don't really care for the ending of Metal Gear 5. I enjoyed the ending, and I feel like I already got a satisfying ending regardless, because, if you played Metal Gear 4, that was the end of the series, and that was the end.
I have to finish that game. I have to go back to that one.
4 is a hard play. I want to say that, because it involves a lot of the previous games that you may have not played. I don't think you ever played 3.
I got them all. Remember, I wound up getting that HD collection, and even for the Vita, and I just never put any time into it.
I think it's funny. I think once Metal Gear came to PlayStation 2, you kind of lost interest in it, as I remember.
I remember, which one was it that he jumped off a bridge with a poncho?
That's 2.
That was the one that I put the most time in.
Oh yeah, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one I put the most time. I remember that one. I remember playing a lot of that. And then the one that for PS3 came out, and I remember I went to a buddy of mine's house, and it just looked like a bunch of cutscenes. I'm like, when does this game start? It was just so long.
That's 4. Yeah, 4 lays it in thick, man. It lays it in thick.
4 is the nth level of cutscenes, because it's like they have 30-minute cutscenes and.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's.
Let's move on. I threw this in kind of at the last minute because this shit is funny. Okay, by the way, for you guys who don't know, Carlos's joke about the holy shit, who just threw $10 at us? Was that Techno Fabulous? I'm looking at Techno Fabulous. Thank you, Techno, man. Appreciate that, brother. Techno.
Oh, by the way, Techno, I'm eating that Super Mario cereal right now. Actually,
he goes, that's our cereal money, yo.
You bought that cereal?
Yeah, I bought it off of Amazon. I want to try it.
Oh, that's gonna be the official.
Does it taste like Lucky Charms?
It does, yo.
That's what everyone was saying. They said, "Yo, it tastes like Lucky Charms."
Who makes it? Who makes it? By the way.
Oh shit! I got the box right here.
If it's General Mills.
Oh yeah, so it is Lucky Charms.
There you go.
They just took Lucky Charms and changed the shape.
Kellogg's.
Huh?
What?
That's the official cereal of Throwdown now, man.
It's kind of like Lucky Charms with kind of Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, man.
But it's light on the Captain Crunch, like really light.
The original Nintendo cereal was made by the Quaker Oats company, the Captain Crunch company.
It was a Captain Crunch. I remember that.
They also made the Mr. T cereal, and those 3 cereals, and
Donkey Kong,
and the Donkey Kong one. Those 3 cereals will literally cut the roofs of your mouth. For some reason, the sugar or whatever they used in that stuff was impervious to milk.
Captain Crunch still does it. Cuts up my gums sometimes. I'm like, I love Captain Crunch.
But it's more like Lucky Charms more than anything.
I was just gonna make a joke that only Hispanics would get. Never mind.
Wait, did you use that? Did you use that code? Did you use whatever the
Amiibo code thing?
The Amiibo code on it, yeah.
No, you want it?
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, let me move on with the story. Now I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Oh yeah, Vanquish. Okay, so Carlos's joke about the whole Discord thing is gonna make sense now. So basically, earlier this week, a rumor was going crazy that Vanquish 2 was coming to Xbox One as an exclusive, right? And the Xbox guys, oh my God, we got you, Sony, we got you. You know how they always do it and shit. And then, when you find out, it's funny. Okay, not only does the rumor, it originated with this guy who has a bad track record for rumors, right? And on top of that, he posted this rumor in a Discord chat. So I'm like, so we're now getting our news from Discord from a guy that's been who's unreputable. It's like, what? Come on, this is what we're sticking down to. I said this shit a couple weeks ago. I'm like, this industry is too dependent on fucking rumors, man. And this took the cake. I'm like, okay, let's just be honest. Vanquish, great fucking game. Fantastic game. It sold like shit. Why would Microsoft buy that shit and then put it on Xbox as an exclusive? It doesn't make any sense.
And not to mention the bad blood that Platinum Games has with Microsoft in general after them closing down Scalebound.
Yeah.
In fact, the main guy at Platinum Games said if it hadn't been for Nier Automata, our company would have been dead. And Squaresoft and Square Enix, our company would have been dead. Now, how is
Square
that
Enix wouldn't have been dead. Just get that out there.
they're saying Platinum Games would have been dead.
Yeah.
Because what happened is whatever happened between Platinum Games and Microsoft was not good because what's his face? Who's the main guy over there at Platinum? Didn't he block what's his face? Phil Spencer from Twitter and unfollowed Microsoft?
Huh? Oh, Kamiya.
Yeah, didn't he do that? Didn't he block Phil Spencer and then and unfollow Microsoft?
Oh, we're getting some trolls tonight, Kristen. You know what to do. Thank you.
What is this now? What did we attract?
We attracted crazy people, man. But yeah, the whole rumor was just stupid, but everybody just went on it. You know.
I mean, here's the thing. It would be a very cool idea to see Vanquish come back as a 2, and it's a cool idea to have it as an exclusive. But at the same time, why Microsoft is not in the business of greenlighting games that didn't do well.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah. There's a lot of fanfare after the fact. None of those motherfuckers bought that shit when they first came out. Where were you guys when it was first there?
Yeah, exactly.
So all of a sudden, people are gonna, they're banking on somebody's banking on the fact that this growing fan base will essentially push a sequel for a game that failed. That doesn't sound kosher to me at that point. And then the other fact, it has to do with the game is a Platinum game, but it's also a Sega game. So what do we do with that? Like what would Microsoft have bought the rights to Vanquish from Sega, or would they be paying Sega to develop the game?
Well, no. The other stupid rumor running around is that Microsoft was going to buy Sega. This is what I'm talking about. You see how crazy this is, right?
The thing. It is possible for Microsoft to buy Sega, but at the same time, what does that mean?
Yeah, and how would they benefit from it?
How would they exactly benefit from it? If you're going to throw out the Yakuza games, yes, Yakuza games are doing very well, but they're not doing great.
Yeah, they're doing just good enough.
They're doing good enough. I mean, them buying Sega does involve them buying the company that makes the Persona games.
Atlas.
Atlas. And Atlas, and they would also be owning the guys who make the Dragon Ball game. Arc System Works, because that's also, I think, a part of Sega. Oh no, they're not. They're an independent company, but still, that would mean they would own all these franchises. But at the same time, as Microsoft has shown in the past, they have a lot of franchises. Where are they?
Yeah, a couple of things from the chat here. Daniel J, remember, this is not throw down your questions. Just got to throw that out there. But he was just wondering, would any studios want to work with Microsoft, considering the fact that they keep closing them left and right? I don't
know. Maybe it's remember,
if you're a small studio, yeah, you'll take the money. Why not?
Well, yeah, if you are a small studio, yeah, you'll definitely take that. But I mean, sometimes it's not a factor of Microsoft really buying the studios. They can give two shits about the studios. It's really about the franchises.
Yeah.
So if Microsoft could just close down every single, if they had them, they obviously have the biggest commodity that Microsoft has is the money. So yeah, they could buy Sega. They could totally buy Sega and turn Microsoft into the Sega box. That's kind of what Sega wanted to do with the original Xbox. And it's surprising that Microsoft didn't try to do anything like that, other than sign an exclusive deal with them. But at the same time, it's like, okay, yeah, they bought all these companies, but what do they do with all these different games? You're talking about a floundering character like Sonic, whose modern iterations can't even beat a 2D remake, a semi remake of their previous games. I don't know. So I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, there's also the possibility that that any company can buy Sega. That's how much of a deep well that is.
Yeah, but it's interesting about that, because Sega, I think they came out today saying that they are not today, it was yesterday. They said that they're gonna bring back a bunch of their IPs, we don't know what that means. But if you go back to a couple throwdowns ago, I mean, like a bunch of throwdowns ago, we were asked the question, what Sega IPs would we revive? So you look at that episode, we named a shit ton of them. Come
on, Jet Set. I want Jet Set back.
Yo, where's Streets of Rage?
Streets of Rage, bring that shit back. Hey, man, here we go, man. Eternal Champions, man. Make it right.
Eternal Champ. Freaking yeah, you get Arc System Works behind that shit.
Oh my motherfucking god, man, that'd be insane.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, but yeah, the point is, Sega has a deep well to to dive in from or whatever, but they're not doing it, But I really don't see Microsoft buying them. Okay, I don't see them buying them. Not because they can't afford it. Obviously, they could afford it. It's just. Like if they were to buy them, I could see a Rare situation. They buy Rare and then they don't release any of those games.
Yeah, like where's the Battletoads game? People want a Battletoads game.
They're gonna have Sega. They're gonna have Sega doing avatars and shit.
Yeah, they have Rare doing avatars. What's the biggest thing that Rare's got going on right now? Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, man.
They just sent me a code for that too.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Studio Bad Guy. This guy just fucked me up right now. Eternal Champions X Killer Instinct. That'd be nuts.
That would be nuts. I mean, the Eternal Champions could fit in the kind of crazy universe that the Killer Instinct characters in. Yeah, hell yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, man.
Just think of it this way: all the nostalgia that Nintendo commands on a system more powerful than the PlayStation.
Yeah. What if
I would lose my mind. Yeah, that's right. Daniel J. Golden Axe, man. The first game I ever played, son. Ooh.
A Golden Axe or Altered Beast.
Bring back Vector Man.
My mind is exploding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sega, what the fuck? Bring back Daytona, the real racing game.
Taxi.
Oh,
Crazy Taxi.
We're giving you
that's what Microsoft really needs to do is just buy Sega and do like a middle of the road version, like capitalize on nostalgia the way that Nintendo does, but also offer high fidelity third party experiences like Nintendo don't.
Yeah, like what if Microsoft did have Shenmue on there. They had Shenmue 2 on there.
That's what I'm saying. They were already kind of the hybrid. Like they really just need to, because I'm pretty sure the problem is now buying the licensing from these individual studios. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if they owned Sega, they would own partial rights to all of those games anyway, wouldn't they?
They would own all.
All those games.
Yakuza, man.
They would have Yakuza. Hold on, Virtua
Fighter.
Techno Fabulous. Before I say what you just said, I got to give it to you, brother, because you're here. You love this shit. Call of Duty. You got to throw that at you, brother. Oh my god, Virtua Cop, bring that shit back. Reload.
Virtual Cop.
Oh my god, Sega, what the fuck? They're almost as bad as Konami. It's like you're sitting on so many good games, man.
I feel like because once Sega went into the third party realm, they kind of forgot about all their millions and their thousands of franchises that they could be doing. Even for the fact of just having like an independent studio do like they did with the Wonder Boy game, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Boy.
Yeah, by the way, Daniel J. Power Stone is a Capcom game, brother. Even though it was on Dreamcast, but yeah. You're welcome, Techno. Call of Duty.
But yeah, like it's a possibility that Microsoft can buy them, but at the same time, I don't know if they did do that sort of stuff. Would it be the best place?
And would those games come out?
Would they be the best studio to do something like company?
Yes, I think they would. I think Microsoft needs to rebrand themselves from the extreme pro gamer console to the arcade console.
You mean essentially just turn themselves into Sega? Like they just renamed the Xbox brand into Sega, whatever?
Well, I mean, think about it, because that's how it was. Because Sega always had kind of more of an arcadey feel. Like, don't get me wrong, it definitely courted the extreme kind of thing, but then they backed off a little bit of that and went towards more like the games on here are generally more arcadey than
that was a fact. Yeah, that's true.
Sega's games. Sega was the Xbox before the Xbox, because they were the ones that, like Sega was the balls to the walls guys. They were the guys that they were the guys that made the ads. Sega does what Nintendo having those aggressive sort of ads. So I could definitely see that sort of.
I'm gonna tweet that shit out, man. Sega was the Xbox before Xbox.
They absolutely were.
I'm laughing because it's true.
They were the Microsoft of video games.
Well, no, because they kind of put out that sort of like balls to the wall attitude.
Yeah, man, you're right about that.
This Sega, Nintendo was about all the floaty, goofy little kids, the goofy little plumber that ran around and smushed mushrooms, and meanwhile we have this blue fast thing that is all pointy.
Sega had Mortal Kombat,
and he's always mad and shit.
He's always mad looking.
Yeah, that's right. They have the blood in Mortal Kombat. No, you're right about that. They always position themselves as like, hey, Nintendo, that shit's for kids, man. You gotta play with us.
That's what they were. That's how they pictured it.
Yep.
Yeah, Shinobi. Yeah, I'm fanboy you, man. Although
big boy games.
That's what I'm saying. Not only just buy Sega, but touted as like a merger with Sega, like a spiritual revival of the Sega system.
The Sega box.
Seriously, man, like really, not even
Xbox S.
not in name, but really just focus on like we're going to keep devotion to fun games. Like that's how they frame it to you. Like we're gonna keep our Call of Duties, we're gonna keep our Gears of Wars. We're gonna focus not so much just on competitive gaming, but on arcade, quick pace, and extreme gaming, games that push you, games that challenge you. And we're to help us facilitate this, we're bringing in Sega, and we're going to start, reviving its classic library and giving some of these long acclaimed games another chance for a new generation. That's how you frame that shit, and people will be like, "All right, hold on, let me just start throwing money at you."
Yeah. By the way, I need to just throw this out there real quick. Please keep in mind that we on the supposed Sony podcast, which we're not, are saying to the world that we want Microsoft to buy fucking Sega. I just want that out there.
I don't see any problems with that. I don't see any problems with that. But I mean, I'm hoping that if somehow this does sort of happen, that it doesn't. That Sega, I mean, that Microsoft does give Sega the respect and not just make them into icon guys,
Here's all I'm saying. Trunks is fine. Go Tanks is better. Everybody knows that, right?
No, wait, hold on. Which trunk are we talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about
Young Trunks is fine. Young Trunks is fine, but Go Tanks is better.
Okay, I got you.
That's exactly how I view.
Don't talk shit about future Trunks, man. I'll come over there and slap the shit out of you.
I'm not. I'm just saying, Xbox kind of has the attitude right now of Young Trunks, and like you bring back the nostalgia that is basically young Goku thrown together. You get a shit talking badass machine that can back up its words, and that's exactly what we all want to see Microsoft turn into. That's what, because let's call a spade a spade. That's not what they are right now. They are not running their A game. This is not their best generation. They are not top of the pile. We want to see them get back up on par, and we're talking about how to do that. So before you give us an attitude about, being Sony ponies, keep in mind, we're actively trying to figure out how would the best way to benefit the Xbox community, because we would like to be part of it. So if you want to give us attitude about being Sony ponies, you're honestly further from the truth, because I want to love Xbox again. There just ain't a whole lot pulling me over that way to throw that kind of money around.
As a bonus, I would just want it so that when Spencer and those guys get up and start touting all the Sega games, and I just want to hear Crap Gamer and Mooch compliment the once Crapanese games.
Yes.
And start screaming it from the rooftop how great Sega is and how great the games are, just so I can call them hypocrites.
Oh my, that would be fantastic, man.
Yeah, I love the Yakuza franchise. They're so cool.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah, I'm glad we threw that in there, because we were going to do another topic tonight. I don't feel like talking about it. We'll talk about it next week when it actually happens. The whole fucking Trump shit, I'll stop right now and not get it. But Trump is a fucking idiot. Just throwing that out there. So we'll talk about it next week, because he's going to have a meeting with the video game executives about violence and games and all this. Come on, son.
It's just standard. They all do this. I remember Obama
every year, man. Every generation.
It's a big dog and pony show.
Yeah, so
the science backs up. The science backs up that there's no link between real life violence and video games.
No.
And yes, sometimes science doesn't matter in public opinion and politics, but it's enough out there, and trust me that video gamers are the last ones I'm really worried about, because like I said, we are a vocal bunch, and we'll be the first ones to just hurl science at the wall until it sticks somewhere. And I don't think nobody likes President Trump enough to really just get behind his thing. So this is just a big dog and pony show that's going to have little or no relevance. My big fear is this is drawing the conversation away from customer rights and loot boxes, and we can't let that happen.
Yeah, that's a great point. So anyway, we will talk about that story because it's gonna happen next week. So hopefully it'll be on a Thursday so we can speak about it. But since we actually have a really good, I was going to say we have a really good amount of people that we have our normal amount of people back watching us tonight. Finally, those numbers went back up. So
thanks a lot, guys.
Yes. What have we been playing lately, man? All right. Let's start with Adam here. What have you been playing, brother?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
But I went back to all of them, though. At least all the
yeah, my man went back to Call of Duty 1.
Yeah, I went back to Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
We were thinking you went back to PlayStation 2.
Yeah, man, the real Call of Duty, man, before it got fake.
I remember even on the regular Xbox. No, but just because the zombie land stuff, the zombie mode, I never really played any of the zombie stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let me jump into that. So, and then I realized why I don't like it. I don't for me, but it's something about it. It feels too forced. I don't know. People are like, oh, it's like Left 4 Dead. No, it's not. It's not like Left 4 Dead. Zombies in space was crazy.
Is that the one? Warfare. Is that the one with Ron Perlman in it?
Which one?
I know he was in one of them.
Oh man, I think that must be in the Black Ops 2, because he's not in 3. He's not in 3. Hasselhoff is in the one I was playing the other night. That's Black Ops 3. You get to unlock him. What's his name that just had the heart attack?
Kevin
Smith.
Kevin Smith, yeah.
Yeah, he's in one of them. Which one
was that? Who had the heart attack?
It was, I think, Advanced Warfare. It's all a blur. I've just been bouncing around from all of those.
Okay.
And, there was something else I was playing besides that.
Is it because a lot of those are all is this on Xbox or PlayStation you've been playing?
It is on PlayStation because I don't know. I have a folder. of all my PlayStation ones. And I was like, let me just jump in those because I haven't really put any time into those. And then that's it. I was playing that. There was something else. Remember, I was doing Horizon Zero Dawn. I went back into
which has sold 7.6 million worldwide.
Yeah.
So
I played some of that. I tried to play Crackdown on my, speaking of Xbox, because they made that backward compatible. So I'm like, so I re-downloaded. I just wanted to go back, collect all the orbs, because I never really did all of it. I had a lot of them, but not all of them. And the damn thing didn't have my save file in the cloud. So I guess it never uploaded, and it's still on my 360. So I have it out here. I just got to get the brick, that power brick, and plug it in so I can upload my save file. I don't want to redo all that. And then that was it. I feel like there was something else I was playing. Well, The Division. Everybody get happy for Division.
20 million, man. 20 million.
That's it.
That shit is crazy. Adam and I were talking about before the show. It was like Ubisoft has these stealth hits, man. You know
what it is. It's like it seems like they tend to the backlash for their games doesn't get too bad to where it gets to the point where it then we can say Assassin's Creed, the previous ones. The other one, Unity one. But I mean, it seems like they're very committed to kind of improving the experience. So it's like, okay, it was a good, like whatever they put out for The Division, it was good enough. But then they kind of like, all right, we can expand on that and make that better, which is interesting.
And they do that for almost all their titles. All their open world titles. Wildlands, all of them. They still have DLC coming out. That For Honor still has DLC. Rainbow Six. The big hit for them. It's like, and that was horrible at launch. And they didn't give up on it. They just kept pushing it out, and people weren't playing it. I said, "Don't worry, we're going to keep working on it." And then, sure enough, if you build it, they will come. And people came, and they stayed. And you know what? That'll stick with the brand. We all know them for doing this now. So the next titles that come out, and even if they got some bugs and whatever, we all know they're good for it. They're going to fix it, and they're going to keep supporting it, right? Because that's how we see them. This is what they're doing now, and that's good for them. Right now, they're the publisher of 2017 for me. Bing.
Interesting, man.
And then Brian, that's when Brian's like, "Oh, you play."
Nah, Brian likes Ubisoft, man.
You like Ubisoft? I remember a while ago you were complaining about Uplay.
Yeah. Actually, since I talked about him, Brian, what are you playing lately, man?
Well, funny enough, Tony, you and I had like a brief discussion over the games I have been playing. So pretty much I've been going through and been doing the backlog, as people know. I think the last game I completed was Rhyme for PS4, which I think is one of the PS4 Plus games. That was actually really good.
Hey, Rhyme was on there? Damn it.
Yeah, Rhyme. I think it's March's game. No, not March. February's game for PS Plus.
Oh, is it?
That was on there,
okay.
and it was actually like really good. Like a nice twist at the end. I didn't see coming, so I was like, yeah, this is good. It's fun. Well, not fun, but it's good. You know, an interesting game. Got the platinum in that one, and then before that, I actually went through and played Infamous Second Son and Infamous First Light. So I've now played all the Infamous games. I can definitely say that Infamous Second Son is not as good as the first two, but hey, it's still a fun game. Yes, Tony, I do understand what you and Ricky meant by the evil ending.
Yeah.
That was that was fun. Yeah, both good games, both nice. I wish they would have done Fetch's thing a bit differently. Mainly the quote unquote twists off First Light. I wish they would have done it so that she wasn't forced into it, if that makes sense. I'm trying to talk about it without spoiling it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but apart from that, it was fun.
Game I think you can spoil.
There may be some people that have not played it yet, so hey. But yeah, those two, and I think another one. No, that's the wrong application. Another one. I'm just going through like my trophies list. It's like just look what games I platinumed. Like, okay.
Oh, okay. I do have Rhyme in there. Good. Yay.
Come on. And Need for Speed Payback. Yes. I got
that's the other one I've been playing. I've been playing Need for Speed. That's the other one.
Yeah. I got the platinum in that. That was
what?
He got the platinum in Payback, man. That's respect.
You put in time in that. Oh shit.
The whole of the last quarter of December plus the whole of January, just nothing but Payback, all day, every day. Like there were times when I was playing I was on the Throwdown and just doing like the challenges. That's all I was doing. So yeah, took some grafting, but that finally got done. And I think that's about it, really. I haven't really been playing. How can I forget this game? Okay, how many of you guys have heard of the game on PC called Doki Doki Literature Club?
Oh, you played that?
Yeah, I know Doki Doki. Yeah.
That was fantastic. Like, I went in knowing nothing apart from everyone saying that I should go play it. I'm like, okay, you know what? Okay, it must mean that there's something else going on, but I did not expect that to be going on. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. And then at first I was like, okay, this is a fun twist. Okay, it's a fun twist. And then like, okay, this is getting weird. It's like,
yeah,
this is getting quite unsettling. And then the ending happened. I'm like, oh, so this is what they meant by like play the game because it's quite subversive. Okay, cool. That's fun. And then I found out about the other side of things. I'm like, oh, this is more interesting than what it ever could be. So, yeah.
Kristen's like she's been obsessed with that game.
yeah, I watched her play it, man. Oh, shit.
You should. Okay, everyone should play it. It's free on Steam. It takes like maybe 3 hours maximum to get through the whole thing, and it is fantastic.
Well, you know what's brilliant? It's a free ad for their real project.
Chris, let them have their fun.
Well,
spoilers.
That's not a spoiler. I'm not telling the ending or anything. It is. That's why it's free.
No, but then that's the part that I liked. Is like I didn't know that. I just went in just expecting like a normal dating sim. I'm like, okay, it's a dating sim. I do it, and then the game twist happened, and then I found out about the other sides of things that you just mentioned, Chris. I'm like, okay, this is actually really clever. Like, they did something that was actually really smart. They essentially, I guess you could say, created like like something akin to PT in that it's a trailer, I guess, or it's a advertisement for something else. Which again, it's very clever. And plus, the game is just fun. The game is like lots of fun, and it
Hold
is
on.
really unsettling.
I got a question. Is Doki Doki like is it like a spin-off of another game?
Not that I know of.
Because it was in another game like called Doki Doki Boy, and you're basically like this giant like.
No, that's Nobi Boy.
Oh, because I'm like,
they use that Doki Doki name multiple times.
Yeah, because
I don't know what it means, but it's been used like the Nintendo. You remember the original version of Super Mario 2? That was called Doki.
Yeah,
Doki
that's what I'm
something.
saying. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah. But
well,
the
they're
game.
using it to just disarm you. Like you
Okay.
think it's something else. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because when Brian was talking, the whole time I'm thinking that he's playing that colored worm, you know, from Nobi Nobi and shit. Okay, but yeah, Doki Doki was a Super Mario 2.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was like Doki Doki something whatever, and then there's Doki Doki Panic, and there's all kinds of good Doki games.
Hey, thank you, Glacian Primus, man, for subscribing to us over on Twitter. I mean, on Twitter, on Twitch. Thank you, man. Awesome. And also, Kristen says Doki Doki means the sound your heart makes when you're excited. Okay, very. We're learning stuff tonight. Very cool. I should get Chris to stream that shit on the Throwdown on the Throwdown Twitch. Why not? You know.
Yeah.
Brian, anything else, man?
No, that's actually it.
All right.
Yeah. So I definitely recommend playing that because I think it is definitely worth your time. And the fact that it's free, it's worth it. It's worth it even more.
Nice. All right. I think I know what the rest of us have been playing, but I'm going to go down the line anyway. Brett, what have you been playing lately?
Mostly just Monster Hunter. I've been catching up on a lot of work, so I haven't had a lot of time to play games. But I have been watching. Yes. But in my spare time, I've been watching the X-Men show on Fox. So that's pretty much what I've been working. A little bit of X-Men.
Cool. All right. Mr. Romero. Carlos.
He's currently playing it now.
Carlos.
I was doubly muted. So yeah, mostly just like Brett, mostly just Monster Hunter. Heroes of the Storm is taking a backseat to.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
That is what we call a hell freezing over moment.
Yeah. So Monster Hunter, man. I just want something else to come out, man, because this game isn't giving me an excuse to stop playing it.
You know. All right.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Yeah, Chris. I'm guessing you Monster Hunter as well.
Oh yeah, man. I can't stop. I'm constantly now looking at my gear. Yeah, I get that itch.
Yes,
man.
I
get that next sword, man. Yo, just do some missions. Answer some SOS. I'm like, I'm helping you, brother, but I'm actually taking the parts.
Yeah, man.
Jolly cooperation, right?
Oh yeah. But this is like more beneficial because you all get something out of it. With cooperation, you get like a token. Like I care. I'm already a Sunbro, man. I don't need to show my allegiance. Now you get useful shit, and you get paid too. It's great.
You know, yeah, I'm the same way. Although I've slowed down with Monster Hunter, you know, I've slowed down, but you know, it's funny because I'm asking Brett and Carlos what they play, and Chris. I'm like, we've been playing together this whole time, you know. But yeah, right now I'm trying to get better gems and fighting more tempered monsters to get those gems. I kind of have the build I want. I made it focused on my charge blade, so I have a lot of good shit that benefits the charge blade. I'm dealing so much fucking damage right now. It is disgusting, you know? It is ridiculous right now, man. Like I'm hitting a fucking monster. I'm taking like 320 damage. I'm like, damn!
That's
you know?
amazing, yeah.
You know the beautiful thing about that, Tony, and this is one of the things I found that I really love about this game, is that even after you've beaten everything, even after you're like, okay, well, I'm going to farm the best weapon, and the inevitable question, like, well, why? Why am I going to bother? Like, I've already beaten all the bosses in the game because new monsters are coming, motherfucker. Because DLC is coming. Because they're going to introduce new monsters and new events, and you still want to be geared for that shit when it comes out. Also, just playing with friends. Like, there's not a reason to put this game down. It's like Dark Souls, but less. It's like Dark Souls, friendlier, easier to access cousin. Like it doesn't fill you with dread. It doesn't make your palms sweat. It's just bright and colorful but challenging, and like it has all of those little bits that give you that crack itch, like oh the gear itch, man.
Except for the lore.
Well, that and the invading. There's no invading, which I'm happy about, because then they'd have to rebalance the game so much. Like just seeing some of the weapons, I'm sure Chris would agree. If they just opened up PvP as it is, there are like certain weapons that would just get destroyed.
Oh yeah.
Like, man, I'm imagining myself getting hit by a charge blade. I don't want that. That shit'll be scary, man. But it's called Monster Hunter, not Human Hunter, so we don't have to worry about that, which is good. Yeah, Monster Hunter, man, that itch is like again, I've slowed down, but I can't put it down. I play it, even if it's like 20 minutes a day, I pop that shit in real quick, Obviously, tomorrow we're going to stream this shit. By the way, I should say that because I've said on a couple of streams, I'm like, yeah, we're going to probably stop because the numbers have been going down. I like streaming the game, man. Fuck it.
It's a nice excuse. It's a nice excuse to hang out and have people hang with us.
Yeah, man, we got the fans playing with us. We always got Subgata and Dio and Isaac playing with us. It's fun, man.
So really, what game out there is better to be streaming right now anyway? Like, I can see that argument when something bigger and comes along, and I'm sure we will, but for now, like this is the big. You don't get games this big that come out, but once every few months at the most. So.
And you don't get games this big that most of us are playing at the same time. That's like rare, man. That's Haley's Comet shit right there.
Dude, we streamed Destiny on several occasions, and we didn't even really like that game.
Yeah, that's true. We dropped that shit after like 2 weeks, I think. We were like, oh, we're done. And this shit is like, we want to keep playing it because it's fun. There's always something new to do, man. Even if you think you got everything, there's always something, But Throwdown play Sea of Thieves. Barry, man, you keep trolling us with that shit, man.
Dude, I want to play Sea of Thieves so bad.
Adam has a Sea of Thieves.
Okay,
they sent me a code, so you check. They sent.
I don't have an Xbox. I totally play.
You got a PC though. You got a PC though.
I'm playing Sea of Thieves when it comes out.
Oh, hold on. That's 3 of you. That's 3 of you. So there you go.
Right, we'll try. We'll give it a go.
Wait, somebody sponsor me. Send me an Xbox.
Brett, you can play it on PC, dude.
Yeah, but these motherfuckers are gonna be playing on their Xboxes.
It's crossplay.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, remember Xbox.
There you go.
Yeah,
Microsoft
man.
for the win.
I'm getting it for the water graphics. Come on, man.
Right. They will.
I'm getting it because fucking pirates. Then.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not interested. But I'm glad that 3 of you guys, you're streaming that shit. I'm giving you that order.
You don't want to ride on a pirate ship and fuck other motherfuckers up.
No, I don't like pirates. I don't care about pirates. I never liked pirates.
Dude, it's like multiplayer Black Flag. How do you not want to play that?
Not interested, man.
You give Adam shit for his dinosaurs.
Right?
Listen, the 2 things that Tony doesn't like, and he's played games of them: Cowboys and Pirates.
Oh, so you're not playing Red Dead either?
Of course, but there's exceptions to the rule.
It was difficult to get him to play fucking Red Dead.
Yeah, that is true.
You don't remember that shit.
Yeah, that's my one exception. Just like Black Flag is my one exception with pirates. You always got one. At least hey Adam, at least I got one. You don't got one for no dinosaurs, do you?
What? He's playing
Horizon.
Oh, that is true. Adam, you're growing, man.
You're growing.
I'm just doing it because of the story, because it has a sci-fi element.
Man,
so
that
I'm
shit
like,
is fire,
all right,
son.
let me get through this, but yeah.
It was going on Riku. Speaking about gamers that evolved. I remember when we first met Riku, right? It's funny because he was introduced to us back at SCF Play as the Japanese correspondent gamer, right? So we're like, oh shit, what's your favorite JRPG? I don't play RPGs. Like, what? Like he only played action Japanese games, but now this dude plays everything, So gamers can evolve, man. It's awesome. But yeah, Sea of Thieves, not really interested, man. Not really interested.
Well, besides that,
but if I get a code, but if I get a review code, that's a different story.
Yeah. But the one game that we all agree that we will be playing is the new Burnout.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'm good, man.
Burnout.
Not all of us. By all, we mean a good chunk of us.
I got a proposition.
Look at Carlos already in there talking about fucking anime, man.
Can't resist, man.
What's up?
Oh no, wait, it's manga. Anyways, I got a proposition. If Sea of Thieves gets really good review scores, and everyone's loving it, I'll buy you the game. and you have to
Damn, son.
No, and the reason why I'm buying it is because I'm forfeiting my freaking bet with you because I already know I'm gonna fucking lose.
But you don't get to be captain. That's the stickler. You may be captain of the Throwdown, but if you come in late to that shit, I will not let you be captain of that ship.
Nah, man, I'll be the gun-wielding guy just shooting motherfuckers. I don't care.
All right. I'm just saying you're not going to show up late to the party and show up and claim the captain.
Why would I want to be the captain? It's like that, I don't want to be in charge.
Because he's the motherfucker telling everybody else what to do.
What happened?
Because the game, you actually do things like one guy has to man the rudder and one guy has to do the sails. So there's one guy who's going to be the captain.
Oh no, I understand, but I'm asking you, why would I want to be the guy in charge of that? I just want to go in there and kill shit.
Kill shit. I guess you could be a soldier.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to be in charge?
Yeah, like,
that's about alcohol that I want to murder.
You just want to run around and shoot bitches in the face.
Yeah, Tony wants to run, shoot the cannons.
Oh man, no, I want to be at least up there. You know.
No, I don't give a shit. Just, if Carlos, we'll see. Yeah, if the game is good, yeah, I guess that will be your bet. By the way, for you people who don't know, the bet is that at the end, it's the end of this year, right, or next year? Now I forgot. Now I'm forgetting the fucking bet. It's this year. It's this year. It is this year.
This year, yeah, it's this
year. It is this year. Sorry, we're in 2019 now. By the end of this
year,
not
19.
Yeah, 2019, man. I predict. No, 2019. That was the bet. My prediction is that the place. 2018. What year are we in? I feel like a time traveler.
2018.
Okay, thank you.
I know that PlayStation shit fucked you up.
You time traveling son of a bitch.
Is next year, March 8th, 2019.
I legit asked the time traveler question. What year is it? I asked it sincerely. I forgot what year it was.
Tony, does that wheelchair get up to 88 miles an hour?
No, not yet.
You need to get 1.21 gigahertz into it.
That's right, gigawatts.
The gigawatts.
Okay. Yes, okay, what year was the bet for?
It was this year, because remember last year we were talking about it, and it's like, oh, it sold this much this year. Next year,
yeah. Okay, just making sure. And we're in 2018. So by the end of this year, just to come back around, by the end of this year, I predict the PlayStation 4 will outsell the PlayStation 3.
Lifetime.
Yep. Lifetime sales. So we shall see. Because right now, last time I remember, 76 million for PlayStation 4 and 86 million for PS3. Right? PlayStation sold 20 million last year alone, so it's possible. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm not opposed to playing Sea of Thieves. I'm just not interested in it, but I will play it if it's free, and especially if it's a good game to stream. We'll see what happens. But pirate stuff is like, I mean, they got the pirate songs, so that's cool. I like those songs in Black Flag. They got those same songs in this bitch, and they don't got to worry about copyrights because those old ass songs.
They're old ass songs.
Yo, and if they got monsters in that shit, forget about it. I'm gonna be in that bitch.
There are skeleton warriors in it.
I'm talking about monsters like krakens and shit.
I think there might be a kraken or two.
Man, you give me a kraken, I'll buy that game myself.
What are you talking about? You hate sea monsters.
I like sea monsters.
Remember you talked about whales freaking you out.
Whales aren't monsters though. They're just really creepy.
Might as well be.
No, there's different sea monsters. I like sea monsters like Cthulhu and shit. I like that. That's it's cool. I like that. But
just like the real things. Oh,
yeah, the real things freak me out because they're real. How am I going to be afraid of a fictional sea monster? Think about it. Tony Logic.
Tony Logic.
Did we run through? I think we ran through everybody, right? Yeah, Monster Hunter for me. You already know, man. Oh, yeah, Manny, are you playing anything?
Well, I am currently playing Monster Hunter in my own time. I am still the straggler as I always am.
Yo, man, we gotta pull you up, man. We're gonna help you beat those 4 final monsters tomorrow, man.
Really? I mean, am I even at that point where I can even do that?
Yeah, you beat Nergigante.
He needs to track them first, though. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta track those dudes.
I did track one of them. I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess my score is high. I mean, you get it up whenever you fight something or you go into the world or something. So yeah, that's the stuff I need to do. I need to go in all the different environments and track some of these monsters that are hanging out.
Yeah, all right. By the way, the truth goes, why don't you guys play that new indie game like Sea of Thieves, but it's in caves. You lost me at indie game. I'm a fucking asshole, man. I'm good.
Yo, man, you gotta play that cave story or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
a cave pirate story. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it. So we're gonna do something a little cool for you guys because thanks to Subgata, he made a nice little graphic for us that's over on Twitch right now, right? But Manny modified it for Throwdown because by the whole time I'm thinking like when it would be a good time to post this. We're gonna do it at the end of the show, but I'm actually gonna do it now while I do my vamping too, you know, because not everybody's gonna stick around for the end of the show. So that'll be good. So yeah, let me just throw it up there. You guys on the show can't see it, but here's all the places you can find us, the times we come on, and all that shit. You know, really good stuff. You know,
that will be our little outro image, so everybody can see, and it's also multi-language.
That is right.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, Skull and Bones, the EA pirate game, that shit, or is it Ubisoft?
It's Ubisoft.
You know, Adam, hold on, I gotta put the camera back on us, man. You know what's gonna happen, Adam. That shit's gonna be another sleeper hit too. You already know. Probably. That shit was kind of tight though, because I did see a monster in that. I'm like,
I feel like, man, they got a monster in there.
Got monsters? All right, man. All right, so thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Mixer, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco. Time joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
We are officially 1 month away from the greatest anime season to ever come out.
Oh, shit. Brett Murdoch.
It's been real. And what anime season?
The spring anime season. It has everything, man.
We'll talk about it after the show. Adam Vale.
Yeah, have a good night. See you guys tomorrow. Friday night WrestleCast. Talk some steroid use and the impact it has on a fictional sport. So I don't know why people give a shit. But really don't get it. They know the outcome, so it doesn't matter.
It's retarded. And shout out to the water that's running in the background. And,
all right, burn the shit out of myself. That's my bad.
And Brian Manjoma.
No life lessons this week because I'm currently grinding for some stuff in Warframe. So, sorry. Next week. Next time.
Oh, man. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, man. Throw down your... I was going to say throw down your game. It's fucking game night.
Throw down your games.
We should call it, rename this shit again, right? Throw down your games, you know?
Throw down your games.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll see you tomorrow, man. Later.
Laters.
Peace.
Laters, everyone.
Deuces.